And try as I like, a small crack appears in the diplomacy.
He's like, oh my god. What's up, travelers? Kayse here. If you're new to this channel, I post weekly videos every Friday to help take you away from the everyday stresses of life, even if just for a little bit. Usually, this will take the form of comedy. So, if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, feel free to become a traveler at any moment by clicking that subscribe button and hitting that notification bell. So what's up, guys? I'm back, and I actually really miss making videos. For those of you that don't know, the reason why I was gone, I actually got a pretty bad cut on my lip, so I wanted to give that time to heal. But for those of you that have been watching my posts in the community tab on this channel, the Life's Amazing Journey channel, then you already know that. And if you didn't see those posts, then I don't really know. Maybe you haven't hit that notification bell. If you haven't, you should probably hit that notification bell, because that's pretty much everything nowadays, I guess. Because you don't really, I feel like the subscribe button is kind of like a add to friends button, and when you click the notification bell, it's like you're actually subscribed. It's weird. New YouTube's kind of weird like that, I guess. But anyway, so today's video actually comes by request. I've gotten multiple requests to do this video. It's a 10 Minchin video. The specific video that I've been asked to check out is called Storm. I've been asked about Storm, and then I've been asked to be specific, which is Storm the animated version. So I'm gonna check out Storm the animated version since the other one just said Storm. So this is what they said. For 10 Minchin, I definitely recommend Storm, the animated version. And then they gave some other recommendations and stuff, and then they said the first is just funny. The next comment said you should listen to Storm. It's arguably his best work. It's absolutely hilarious, which is really nice to hear, so I really hope that it actually is hilarious. But the fact that I've gotten this multiple times, it must be pretty good. Now, I'm pretty sure I got this specific request more than just 2 times, so if I missed your comment, I'm sorry for that, but I'm definitely checking out Storm by 10 Minchin. The actual video is titled 10 Minchin's Storm, the animated movie. So that's what we're reacting to today. So I hope you guys like this video. Let's just get right into this reaction video. This is my 10 Minchin's Storm, the animated movie reaction. Feels good to be back.
Inner North London, top floor flat, all white walls, white carpet, white cat.
That's cool.
Partitions, modern art and ambition. The host's a physician, bright bloke, has his own practice. His girlfriend's an actress, an old maid of ours from home, and they're always great fun, so to dinner we've come. The fifth guest is an unknown. The hosts have just thrown us together for a favour, because this girl's just arrived from Australia and she's moved to North London, and she's the sister of someone.
This is awesome.
Connection. As we make introductions, I'm struck
like something
by
like
her
new.
beauty. She's irrefutably fair, with dark eyes and dark hair. But as she sits, I admit I'm a little bit wary, because I noticed the tip of the wing of a fairy tattooed on that popular area just above the derriere, and when she says, "I'm Sagittarian," I confess a pigeonhole starts to form, and is immediately filled with pigeon when she says her name is Storm.
Oh,
Conversation is initially bright and light-hearted, but it's not long before Storm gets started. "You can't know anything. Knowledge is merely opinion," she opines over her Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh gosh, okay, hold on, I gotta
hip-
pause that for a second. Oh, okay. Just gotta brace myself for this, cause you know what's coming. I can totally see why it's called Storm now. Okay, let's do this, alright.
The empirical comment made by me. Not a good start, I think. We're only on pre-dinner drinks, and across the room my wife widens her eyes, silently begs me, "Be nice." A matrimonial warning not worth ignoring, so I resist the urge to ask Storm whether knowledge is so loose weave of a morning, when deciding whether to leave her apartment by the front door or the window on her second floor.
Dang.
The food is delicious, and Storm, whilst avoiding all meat, happily sits and eats as the good doctor, slightly pissedly, holds court on some anachronistic aspect of medical history when Storm suddenly insists, "But the human body is a mystery. Science just falls in a hole when it tries to explain the nature of the soul." My hostess throws me a glance. She, like my wife, knows there's a chance I'll be off on one of my rare but fun rants, but I shan't. My lips are sealed. I just want to enjoy the meal, and although Storm is starting to get my goat, I have no intention of rocking the boat. Although it's becoming a bit of a wrestle because, like her meteorological namesake, Storm has no such concerns for our vessel. Pharmaceutical companies are the enemy. They promote drug dependency at the cost of the natural remedies that are all our bodies need. They are immoral and driven by greed. Why take drugs when herbs can solve it? Why use chemicals when homeopathic solvents can resolve it? I think it's time we all return to live with natural medical alternatives. And try as I like, a small crack appears in my diplomacy.
He's like, oh my god.
By definition, I begin, alternative medicine, I continue, has either not been proved to work or been proved not to work. Do you know what they call alternative medicine that's been proved to work? Medicine. So you don't believe in any natural remedies? On the contrary, Storm, actually, before I came to tea, I took a remedy derived from the bark of a willow tree, a painkiller that's virtually side effect free. It's got a weird name. Darling, what was it again? Masprin? Basprin? Oh yes, aspirin, which I paid about $1 for down at the local drugstore. The debate briefly abates as my hosts collect plates, but when they return with desserts, Storm pertly asserts, "Shakespeare said it first. There are more things in heaven and earth than exist in your philosophy. Science is just how we're trained to look at reality. It doesn't explain love or spirituality. How does science explain psychics, auras, the afterlife, the power of prayer?" I'm becoming aware that I'm staring. I'm like a rabbit suddenly trapped in the blinding headlights of vacuous crap. Maybe it's the Hamlet she just misquaffed, or the fifth glass of wine I just quaffed, but my diplomacy diet groans and the held back by its stones can be held back no more. Look, Storm, sorry, I don't mean to bore you, but there's no such thing as an aura. Reading auras is like reading minds, or tea leaves, or star signs, or meridian lines. These people aren't applying a skill. They're either lying or mentally ill. Same goes for people who claim they can meet God's demands, or spiritual healers who think they've got magic hands. By the way, why do we think it's okay for people to pretend they can talk to the dead? Isn't that totally in the head, lying to some crying woman whose child has died and telling you you're in touch with the other side? I think that's fundamentally sick. Do we need to clarify here that there's no such thing as a psychic? What are we to? Do we actually think that Horton heard a who? Do we still believe that Santa brings us gifts, that Michael Jackson didn't have facelifts? Are we still so stunned by circus tricks that we think the dead would want to talk to pricks like John Edward? Storm, to her credit, despite my derision, keeps firing off cliches with startling precision, like a sniper using bollocks for ammunition. You're so sure of your position, but you're just closed-minded. I think you'll find that your faith in science and tests is just as blind as the faith of any fundamentalist. Wow, that's a good point. Let me think for a bit. Oh wait, my mistake, that's absolute bullshit. Science adjusts its views based on what's observed. Faith is the denial of observation so that belief can be preserved. If you show me that, say, homeopathy works, then I will change my mind. I will spin on a dime. I'll be as embarrassed as hell, yet I will run through the streets yelling, "It's a miracle! Take physics and bin it! Water has memory, and whilst its memory of a long-lost drop of onion juice seems infinite, it somehow forgets all the poo it's had in it. You show me that it works, and how it works, and when I've recovered from the shock, I will take a compass, and can't fancy that on the side of my cock."
Dang.
Everyone's just staring now. I'm pretty pissed, and I've dug this far down, so I figure in for a penny, in for a pound. Life is full of mysteries, yeah, but there are answers out there, and they won't be found by people sitting around looking serious and saying, "Isn't life mysterious? Let's sit here and hope. Let's call up the Pope. Let's go watch Oprah interview Deepak Chopra. If you want to watch telly, you should watch Scooby-Doo. That show was so cool because every time there was a church with a ghoul or a ghost in a school, they looked beneath the mask. And what was inside? The janitor or the dude who ran the water slide. Because throughout history, every mystery ever solved has turned out to be not magic. Does the idea that there might be knowledge frighten you? Does the idea that one afternoon on Wikipedia might enlighten you frighten you? Does the notion that there might not be a supernatural so blow your head that you'd rather just stand in the fog of your inability to Google? Isn't this enough? Just this world? Just this? Beautiful, complex, wonderfully unfathomable natural world? How does it so fail to hold our attention that we have to diminish it with the invention of cheap, man-made myths and monsters? If you're so into your Shakespeare, lend me your ear. To gild refined gold, to paint the lily, to throw perfume on the violet, is just silly. Or something like that. Or what about Satchmo? I'll see trees of green, red roses too. And fine if you wish to glorify Krishna and Vishnu in a post-colonial, condescending, bottled up and labelled kind of way, then whatever, that's okay. But here's what gives me a hard-on. I am a tiny, insignificant, ignorant bit of carbon. I have one life, and it is short, unimportant, but thanks to recent scientific advances, I get to live twice as long as my great-great-great-great-uncles and aunts.
Uncles.
Twice as long to live this life of mine. Twice as long to love this wife of mine. Twice as many years of friends and wine, of sharing curries and getting shitty at good-looking hippies with fairies on their spines and butterflies on their titties. And if perchance I have offended, think but this and all is mended. We'd as well be 10 minutes back in time for all the chance you'll change your mind.
Okay, so my thoughts on Tim Minchin's Storm, the animated movie. I thought it was actually really interesting. I always love seeing people's opinions on things, and I thought he wrote it really well, and the animation was pretty great too. All in all, I really liked it, but what did you guys think? Did you like it? If you did, don't forget to smash the like button. If you're not already subscribed, consider clicking that subscribe button because then you'll be informed about new videos. And if you do, don't forget to click that notification bell so you never miss a video. If you've got a request or recommendation for me, feel free to post those in the comments below. So that's gonna conclude this week's video. Until next time, I'm officially Kayse. And this is my kitty cat. And we're officially signing off. Peace out, everyone.